Hey, how you doing, guys? This is the King for Legendary Marketer. Like I said, today is a part two from yesterday's. Yesterday I let you know I had 5 points to go with you. Yesterday I made three of them. And just to recap and to review real quick of those 3 points yesterday, it's pretty much is the one thing that you do is how you do everything. And what I meant by that yesterday is knowing your patterns, knowing how your daily habits and everything. If you go over if you do one thing the same way, that's how you do everything pretty much as far as your habits and your patterns. And again, guys, if you don't remember yesterday or you want to review, just check yesterday's email and just look it up. If not, just email me real quick and I'll be able to send you that link. The number 2 point we made yesterday, your product, your opportunity, or your business, if you're passionate about it, if you want to promote it, you have a moral obligation just to share that. If you're passionate about it, if you love it, and you know that's what you want to promote, that's what you want to do, you have a moral obligation just to share that with the people. And then the number 3 point I made yesterday, I know I'm going through real quick, but I already made the video yesterday, so review that video. I'm just going over these 3 key points real quick. And the number 3 point I made yesterday is uncover your money blocks. I really went into depth with that. Just learning your money blocks as you was growing up and what's instilled as seeds as far as your money blocks, okay? Now today I'm just going to go over the final 2 points. And yesterday we're just talking about the millionaire mindset, the financial freedom goal mindset. Trying to get that mind right as far as, because that's where the game is played. There's plenty of opportunities out here. There's plenty of products out here that you promote and really get behind. But if the mindset is not right, if you don't have the same mindset the business owners have, the successful ones, and the $1 million earners have, all that is for now. You could throw that out the window. You could throw all that out the window. Your products, your opportunity. Because if your mind ain't straight, that's why you stop. You start, you stop, you start, you stop. Oh, this not working. Some of this stuff really works. So, and that goes back to the 3rd point I just made. Uncover your money blocks. Uncover your money blocks. But today we're going to get into these last 2 points with you guys. I'm going to kind of, wrap this up for you guys. And I just want y'all to always take notes, write it down, make the vision plain and everything else. Just I know some of you guys know my story. Some of you guys don't. I drive a taxi cab 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I'm not saying, I work harder than everybody else, but I know I'm out there grinding it out and still have time to build my business also. So, what's your excuse? 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, I work. 12 hours and I still come home and put in hours afterward. Because that's how much I don't want to do the 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. Do you understand that? If you're sick and tired of doing that, then you'll be able to take it to the next step. Because I don't want to work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week for the rest of my life. And besides those other things, and being homeless twice, once by myself, once with my family, was a real struggle, going through foreclosure and evictions and everything else. So I'll go in depth as you watch these series of videos of my story, because it's something that needs to be told, because it just might help just that one person. But these 2 other points that I want to kind of tie this in and wrap it all together for you, and keep reviewing this, because you'll always be able to take nuggets out of this and be able to run with this. The 4th point, leaving off from the 3rd point from yesterday, is just know what business you're in. Pretty much just know what business you're in. And I'm not saying the actual business or the opportunity that you're in, but I'm saying, what business are you in? Let me try to say this another way. What's your mission in life? Know what business you're in. Like, let me give you, my business is to personal develop, show people how to personally develop, how to grow, how to mentally expand themselves and kind of create this ripple effect around their life. Personally, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. I'm into personal growth and coaching and teaching other people how to personally develop. So what the business you're in? You know what I mean? It could be on the along the same lines I'm in, but you'll know what it is because it be that always that I want to do this, I want to do that, and like I just want to help people, or I have certain charities I want to. I like to work with kids, or I want to work with teenagers. I want to work with the less privileged. I want to be a missionary. Know what business you're in, and funny that crazy that it sounds that you say, Keem, that has nothing to do with building my business or my brand or product. It has a lot to do with it. If you really know what business, and that would kind of catapult you into the another realm, to another level, because you know your purpose in life, you know what mission you're on. If you just know what business you're in, and how you kind of like develop that, you just got to write down some key points of like do 1, 2, 3, or do 1 through 10, do 1 through 15, whatever it is, and then chop that down into the very essence to know what's my mission in life, what's my purpose in life, what I'm supposed to be doing in life. And once you discover that, whatever business you have, whatever product you have, whatever opportunity, it could be a traditional business, brick and mortar, it could be an online business, offline business. If you know what business you're in, and I keep saying what business in, what's your mission and your passion in life, that will kind of like it kind of draws you in even more to push to my second point that I made yesterday. Is you have to be passionate about your product, your opportunity, your business. So if you're passionate about your product, opportunity, and business, and then you know what kind of mission you want to be on, those two will come together and kind of like catapult you into the atmosphere, into the stratosphere. Trust me, guys, believe me when I tell you that it definitely will take you to the another level, because you're kind of mixing together your what you're passionate about with your business, your opportunity, and then you're passionate about knowing what business or what your mission or what your passion is. Do you understand? It kind of comes together when you combine those things together. So that's the fourth point that I just wanted to bring home to you. Know what business you're in. The fifth point and the last and final point, I try to keep these short because some people attention spans is like, "Ooh, I gotta do this," but also I just want to give you enough meat to have you write down and have you kind of like jot these things down. When this video over, go over things real quick, write these things down, and just kind of studying, because it's all about you. Just study. What is my mission? What is my passion? What do I really like to do? What do I want to do in the future? 2 years from now, if I really do make some money, what do I want to do after that? Because it's always something after. This is how really successful people think. Is what I do when I'm finally making money. What do I do after that? So you have to have something to do after that, but you're doing the something right now. If you figure out your mission, your purpose, and your passion right now, and then you could kind of like take that along this way. Instead of everything catching up, you're just riding just like this right now. Once you line those things up, you're just riding just like that, instead of one thing catching up to the other and kind of being out of balance and everything. The fifth thing is, I don't want to say this is the first point I should have made, but it's the number one thing. If you're building a brand, if you're building a business or an opportunity, it's the number one thing you have to start to develop and start to understand what's going to draw people to you. You have to, the number one thing, and I say the number one thing, but this is the fifth point I'm making, but the number one thing is tell your story. And I'm going to slow down a little bit, because when I speak passionately, but I want you to get this. When you're building your brand, your business, or your opportunity, please, if you want to be successful at it, and for many people, including myself, this might be difficult at first. It might be very difficult at first to tell your story, and for numerous reasons, it's going to be difficult at first. First and foremost, Well, first and foremost, let me get the. What do you mean? Tell your story. When you're talking to the tell the people where you came from, what you struggle with, what you was doing before this. How did you come to this? It's almost like how they teach in school: who, what, when, and why. But it's your story, so you replace that who, what, when, and why, and then you tell your story. So tell your story. There's somebody waiting on you to tell your story. It could be such a small thing to you, but to somebody else, it could be such a big thing and a powerful thing that, oh, they went through that too. Please, and your story, don't let nobody tell you. Your story is so powerful because I know what the story is. I know what the struggle is. So understand, learn how to tell your story, or learn how to, some people say, learn how to tell your testimony. Learn how to tell your testimony. And within some circles, they say the testimony was a test. Or just tell your story, because somebody is going to be able to overcome what they was going through. Because you told your story, how you came over it. You might not even be over it, but you might tell your story and you might be going through it right now, but somebody can relate to you. And that's the powerful thing about telling your story. In building a business, a product, and a brand, you could get but so far. But once you tell your story, you could put yourself in the atmosphere. And understand this, and understand this, and understand this one thing and one thing only. Nobody, I mean nobody, can take your story from you. So it's there. Ain't nobody can take your story from you. So when you're doing it, and do it a little bit at a time. And I know, and I'm not saying you got to get in front of a video camera to do that. But at some point, you might be able to do it in writing. Or you might be comfortable in front of the video. But either way, learn how to tell. And it don't have to be something deep. It's just something you went through. It could be one particular thing you went through in life. It could be many things you went through in life. Just think on it, dwell on it, and start to just tell your story like, I don't know, let me think of something. I got fired from my job and I was there 15 years and I got fired and I was a good person and I was down on my luck, but I still hung in there, I applied for many, and then I got a better job. It could be something. It could be something just that simple as you was with your job 20 years, and they could let you go, whatever may happen. Layoffs came around, and then all of a sudden, this better opportunity. Just tell that story, or you could go to what a mentor of mine went through. He was on drugs. He was down and out. He was homeless. Tell that story. My story, I was homeless twice. And to be honest, I was homeless twice, like I said in the beginning, once by myself and once with my family, my wife at the time and 2 kids. And then the worst of the two was with my family, because me, it was pretty, it was all right. I mean, I went through it, but when you struggling, you see your loved ones, we're living at a motel, and I'm not talking an ordinary motel. It's where prostitution and drugs was going on. With my kids at the time, my twins, they was around 3 at the time, 4 maybe, living in that same situation for about for a couple months. A motel with and my wife, and drugs was going on, prostitute every night, and we hear it. And to be honest, I just talked to God about it, and to make my way out of it, and just to tell you my testimony. And after that, you keep pursuing forward, and eventually we ended up in a house of our own. It didn't feel good at the time going through that, but if you persevere and you make your way through it and don't stop, you will always come out on the other side. So learn how to tell your story. It could be via email, video, blog, podcast, whatever means, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. The fifth and final thing is tell your story, but I want to say that's the number one thing you need to learn how to do is tell your story. And your story is powerful. I don't care what nobody tell you or even how small you think your story is. Your story is powerful. All right, guys. So I'm gonna end up this series and keep continuing just to watch. I'm be able to help you grow, help me grow. We're going to grow together, and we're just going to keep building ourselves up until the place where we want to end up at. All right, guys. Like I said, my name's Akeem, and it's always my pleasure talking to you guys. Peace.